See you on the
There
other
you go.
side. With more coastline than any country in the world, the nooks and crannies of the shores of northern Canada set the stage for a showdown between opposing fleets. Amidst the barren rocks and snow-capped peaks, only one team will remain unvanquished. This is Warrior's Path. Warrior's Path is a 48 by 48 kilometer domination-style map with 3 cap points running in a line from west to east. The A cap is on the extreme left, B is in the center, and C is on the far right. To the west, Cap A has enough nearby island cover that it generally attracts at least one radar cruiser from each team. There is island cover within the cap that gives destroyers the options of entering and hunkering down to contest it, but it's exceptionally risky. Capture Area B is a difficult and challenging place to be in the early going of a game. Between radar and enemy aircraft, destroyers within the cap will be easily spotted. Though they have cover in the form of the tall island in the center of the cap, they risk being pinned down there if the opposing team is determined to find a way to wipe them out. Off to the east, the sea cap offers solid cover for friendly cruisers along the northwestern and southwestern edges, but precious little inside the cap itself. The long, narrow channel to the east that connects C and B is a frequent place to see pushes occur in the mid to late game, depending on the board position of each team. Warrior's Path has a long and storied history within the tournament, having produced many close and competitive games. It begs the question, what memorable plays and matches will result this time around? 18 ships, 2 teams, 1 victor. It's time to play Warrior's Path. All right, welcome to Game 1 of the quarterfinal match here on King of the C9 North America between PWP and KSC.
Yeah.
Now, KSC is a team we've been following since the Swiss round, Zath. We casted some of their Swiss games, as I recall.
Yes, and sadly they didn't go for an Iron Curtain play.
Yeah. Well, PWP is the defending champions. This is going to be our first chance to have a look at the defending champions in this particular tournament. And just looking through the ship names that the players that I see, I only recognize 3 of these names from their defending champion team that won the last King of the Sea in the spring. That's Quincy, Celamane, and Ghost of a Smile. Those 3 names absolutely were in the last PWP team that I cast in the finals last March. But everyone else I don't recognize. So they've obviously had some turnover.
Yeah, it's interesting. And that's kind of natural. We've commented on that before, how some clans have folded over time. Some clans have really changed their membership over time. And I guess it's just a fact of life. But
Yep.
I feel very blessed that our clan Kraken is alive and well.
Agreed. PWP coming to the dance with double Kremlin, Des Moines, Moskva, Stalingrad, double Smolensk, and double Daring. I really like their destroyer pick, Zath. I really think in a carrierless environment, Daring is a very, very strong pick.
Oh, absolutely. But I'll tell you what, I love the fact that we see a conqueror on KSC side here, Megazao
I was going to say Megazao is memeing his own name there, bringing a conqueror. And triple Smolensk, Zath. Dear holy God.
Well, I mean, when something just has to die, but in a long time,
when it absolutely has to die 10 minutes from now.
Yes, exactly right.
PWP opting for a very heavy split here, going AC, sending Kremlin, Daring, and Smolensk to A, probably acting as a bit of a stalking horse, a bit of a kiting force over there. Their big push is towards C, Daring, Moskva, Stalingrad, Kremlin, and well in the back, crawling due east along the H line, Fever Nova's Smolensk. Somebody's into the C cap already, Zath, and A. Who is in which cap?
Both gearing. So we've got Aussie Zeus, obviously, in A, and then, of course, Drift is over in C cap. One thing that's interesting is that Sauerkraut in the Des Moines is just tucked in, almost as beautifully tucked as you can be, like snug as a bug in a rug, kind of tucked. North of B there in the island of, what is that, Delta 7/6.
Okay, I know on the map approximately where you are.
Yes.
Looking.
Shadow Wolfish is also just overseeing everything. He's on Overwatch there with his Yamato, just ready. He's not even moving. He's just sitting there like, hey guys. You spot them, I shoot them.
Indeed. KSC striking early, picking up A, but Ghost of a Smile His daring immediately there, ready to jump back into that cap as Aussie Zeus sails out. Our Stalingrad radar pushed Drift out of C. That's going to allow Kirov's daring to grab C, as now PWP working on a 1-cap advantage and trying to steal A away. Looking like Ghost of a Smile is radared or spotted. I'm not sure which.
Just spotted.
Okay. Well, he obviously...
No, wait. Torino used radar, so yes.
Okay. Well, he left.
Radar.
They did drive him off the cap, and they hit him for about 3 or 4K. Dinged him up a little bit, but it's not catastrophic damage. As back at C, Kirov bags the cap. Drift tried to get back in. They succeed in driving Drift off again, as Drift is now taking a tremendous amount of damage as he runs north.
Yeah, that's... Did he get spotted by radar again?
There is a Moskva and a Stalingrad down here in G7, so it's very likely that the Stalingrad radar pushed him off the first time, and when he came back, they hit him with the Moskva radar. That's probably what happened.
All right. If you don't mind me asking you a weird question, I know you've got the caster mod, so you can't see chat.
Correct.
Are you still able to see the in-game overlay when radar is popped and
yes.
then, kind of like
because the
whooshes out? Okay.
Yeah, that little whoosh comes out of it. Yeah.
Which is, by the way, awesome.
Yes.
I gotta hand it to Wargaming for putting that together.
Oh,
I wish
no,
they would do that for Hydro too.
Yes. Well, you get the icon with Hydro, but you're right. You don't get the little visual overlay.
If you ask me, they should be doing that whoosh like through the duration of the radar and the Hydro. Like,
that would be awesome.
Just constant wave action.
Yeah, like
that would be just yes.
We could make that suggestion. It's a really good visual for them to pulse that out every 5 seconds while the radar is active. Yes. Kirov airship pushing up to face spot. Drift's gearing again. Drift
is in.
Drift is definitely in trouble now. He's low enough. They might hit him with the Stalin radar. They do. The Stalin radar hits him again. They decided that he's a priority target. They want to get him off the board. Stalin and Moscow will both have shots on him. He's trying to get to the island. 208 hit points.
Yep, he did exactly what he needed to do. He drifted right into that island, no pun intended. But oh god, he's out of this game.
Yeah, he cannot get spotted again. Torpedoes. He simply can't get spotted again. In fact, it looks as if Kirov's daring might go intentionally push him and try to kill him.
Why not?
Well, why not?
Throw your Hydro on and just charge. What do you got to lose?
It's looking like this is the play. So Kirov is now kind of circling around in that vicinity. He's trying to swing wide. He's pushing for the map edge, going over on farther on the tin line. Yep. Well, it does say Kirov airship, so there you go.
Oh boy, Aussie Zeus also very low. Both destroyers on KSC just getting hammered early on.
Well, they're priority targets. I mean, literally a single shell will kill Drift.
Look at Miko Dance just working his way up, saying, "I really don't care where you guys are. I'm just pushing up."
Yep. Well, they're not really in a position to do anything about it. There's nothing on the 10 line to punish him for trying to take that position. I just looked at the minimap, Zath, and noticed that both of KSC's battleships are kind of in the middle of the board. I don't know that I like that.
Well, and that's kind of what I'm, I mean, it makes sense to. I kind of like that. Megazao is where he's at. He's at a position to prevent the Kremlin from pushing too far forward. He'll burn the crap out of anything. Des Moines is trying to cap now Salamende, but he's about to get... There it is. And then he gets completely reset as he gets broken slightly from Conqueror HE. But yeah, Shadow Wolfish and Megazao in the same spot. That's a problem.
Yeah. PWP working on about a 40-point lead here as they are up a ship. I'm sorry, they're not. I'm reading the top of the thing wrong, but nobody has actually lost a ship yet. That's my mistake. It's because we launched with a ref in the game, and I'm not used to seeing that. But 8 minutes, 8 minutes gone. PWP on about a 40-point lead as they start to bag B, and Ghost of a Smile gets back into A. Now he's on about half health. He has also been beat up quite a bit over here between the Moskva and the Smolensk. They must have him radared again. Moskva shells coming in. No? Maybe they're just guessing. Is Torino's radar up?
No.
Okay, so they were just guessing. It was a close guess. But it does look like PWP will own all the caps momentarily. Drift now spotted. They see
That's
him
a
there.
big problem.
Well, they have no angle to shoot at him, but he is spotted. Kirov's got him on Hydro. Yes. Daring Hydro picking up Drift on 200 HP as Kremlin shells and Des Moines shells from B come in for him. And they do finally get him.
Yes, Miko Miko Dance just saying, hey.
Yep. Yep. PWP up a ship on all the caps here early on Warriors Path. Well, I say early. We're about the halfway mark of the match. They've worked themselves into a great board position.
Whereas KSC just looks like they're not really sure what to do at this point, which is interesting. We haven't really seen them this hesitant and uncertain before. And I almost wonder if it's because they brought so many Smolensks.
It's possible. The Smolensk is a good ship, right? But it's a ship that it doesn't take hits well. So, you know, and the other thing is that PWP is doing a great job. Like, they're vulnerable. The Moskva and the Stalingrad, which are the two ships that you would probably want to just drown in Smolensk fire, have literally been sitting in G7, able to cover both caps with the radar, and just do their thing. And they're not snuggled up to the island. They're literally pointed about... They're sitting about a half of a line width back from the island, able to turn their guns in whichever direction they want, pointed due as the ship is pointed due north. PWP's lead grows to almost 400 points here as we cross the halfway mark of the match.
Our team has taken the lead.
120 seconds on the timer. KSC needs to do something, make a play. I really think A is their best place to pull that off, but I don't know how likely it is.
I like how both Kremlins on PWP side have just pushed up, basically saying, if you really want to come at us, you have to go through me.
Indeed. Both Kremlins well forward on the E line now. Both ships well dug in on or near a cap.
But here's exactly the problem I was talking about with Cable Guy in Smolensk, Aussie Zeus in Gearing, and Torino and Moskva. There's nobody for a while there spotting USNC in the UNSC in the Kremlin, which obviously hurts their ability to put damage out there and get the kill.
Yep, the Smolensk that's over in what is that about D2 in smoke is guessing, trying to farm UNSC, who's continuing to burn. He's down him. Okay, he's burning and healing. He just put the fires out as he heals. There's
some fish coming for him.
He's gonna miss those. He's good.
That's unfortunate.
Yep, he's good. 60 seconds on the timer now. KSC just getting pushed off the map here. They're trying to drive both Smolensks into C, but that's just going to stop the bleeding, and Longdong is about to eat a daring torpedo salvo that's going to wipe him out.
Here it goes.
That lowers the time to 20 seconds now. Even if Schwartz steps onto this cap, and he will, it won't matter. They'll either kill him, and all it does is delay the inevitable. Seconds ticking away.
That's a bit of a miscoordination or something on their side of things, because Schwartz had used Hydro recently, and before that Long Dog, and I almost wonder if both their Hydros were off or what, but there's no excuse for taking torpedoes in a Smolensk.
Yep.
Especially when you're next to another Smolensk.
A pole-to-pole victory here for PWP in Game 1 of the quarterfinals.
Big oof. KSC has some thinking to do, man. I'd hate to be in the locker room right now.
Yeah, they need to have definitely have a heart-to-heart in the locker room at halftime to try and work something out, because if they keep playing like that, they are not going to advance. That's for sure.